What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the It Doesn't Matter podcast, where the straps are shiny, the takes are spicy, and the facts, well, you know, we got strap facts on the show. I'm your host. I'm the Notorious One. I am Dominant. Alongside, I got my boy BDC. And, you know, the one with all the knowledge. I'm here with strap facts. And we're stepping inside that blue steel cage. Fellas, what's going on?
It is a rainy Monday, my friend. Even though it's Wednesday. It is horrible outside. I went to a baseball game tonight and got rained out after 2. So I had to come home in all the craziness that was lightning striking all over the place, thunder loud as hell. My car, that's a SUV, acted like it was less than like a Mazda RX-7. It was incredible. It was incredible. Get home, and then I had to sit in the car for like 20 minutes waiting for the rain to die down enough so I could get in the house without melting. It was fun. It was fun.
That's why you need to carry an umbrella. You'll be all right.
I had an umbrella. That shit didn't do nothing. And it was a golf umbrella too. The wind was taking it. The wind was taking it.
Strap facts, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's up, Don?
He caught me.
The hell?
Oh, Lord. All right.
This is
well,
what this night gonna be. I already see it coming.
Yes, Poppy Plaza was not here because we don't know where he was at August 29th, 1994. But today, we're taking it back to the brand new United Center in Chicago, the home of the Chicago Bulls. The crowd is loud, and the WWF new generation is in full swing. We got Bam Bam Bigelow and IRS kicking off the show. We got Razor Ramon and the bad guy. Excuse me, Big Daddy Cool. Damn, I'm taco drunk right now. I'm taco drunk. Let me try it again. We got Razor Ramon and Diesel going for the IC title with the sweetness. Walter Payton in the corner. We got Tatanka. He has a heel turn. We have one of the greatest cage matches of all time. Bret the Hitman Hart taking on his brother Owen Hart. And we're going to start seeing double in that main event. We're going to see the Undertaker taking on the Undertaker. So strap in. We're going to cover this whole card. And we about to get right to it. Like my man Al Mayo says, right now. All right. Well, our opening match, we have Bam Bam Bigelow and IRS with the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase taking on the head shrinkers of Fatu and Samu. And they got Captain Lou Albano in their corner. And Alpha. Question for you, Strap. Is Alpha, is that the dad of Roman or is that Sika?
I don't know. I don't have to guess. I think it's secret, but I don't really know. What I do know is that they both died within a couple of weeks of each other.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, that was pretty sad. But no, I'm trying to remember. I'm like, damn, is that Roman's dad or not? I'm like, ooh, they both.
So
they do look the same.
Sika is Roman's dad. Alpha is his uncle.
Sika, that's the skinnier one.
Sure. You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. All right. Well, this match was all over the place. This definitely wasn't your mustache mountain and Undisputed Era type of tag team match to kick off the show. This was completely different. Long story short, the Samoans went for a finish, but Ted DiBiase, he caused a distraction. Captain Lou, he had taken out. And then Alpha came out, and they triple team IRS. And like I said, long story short, the bad guys, IRS and Bam Bam Bigelow, they got the win. And then after this, they fought through the crowd. BDC, this is your choice. What do you think about this opening match right here?
I like the it was all over the place analogy because it really was. It's been a long time since I've seen the Samoans and the wild Samoan flavor wrestle so I kind of forgot what that looked like. Got a very good memory of it now. But yeah, it was a decent match. I think Bam Bam sold like crazy in this match. He sold the power of the Samoans. Every time they threw him into the rope, he was jumping into the rope, bouncing off of the corners, and he was doing everything possible to oversell the power of the Samoans, despite the fact that he was bigger than both of them. And IRS Mike Rotunda, he's just kind of like that dude that you could just kind of plug and play in anywhere. And I mean, for the most part, he did what he was going to do. But it was a decent match. Was it a 5-star classic? No. But it wasn't a bad match, especially compared to some of the leading matches we've seen in recent shows. This one was not that bad.
Strap, do you think this was the right match to kick off the show?
I mean, it was it's what you call a lame duck match because the Headshrinkers lost the tag team championships less than 24 hours before. Yep. So this was supposed to be a title match. So it was supposed to be a hot title match to kick off the show. But since that component got removed, I'm not really sure how over the Headshrinkers were at this point in time. I mean, they were the baby faces in the match, but I mean, I certainly didn't know them that way, so I wasn't seeing them that way. But you have the $1 Million Corporation on the other side, of course. They're the heels, and you don't want to root for them. And you're just looking at IRS, M Wall Street, VK Wall Street, Mr. Mike Rotunda. And you're like, oh, did this guy grow up loving pro wrestling? It's like, man, he just doesn't seem like it. And he's going to be more well known for his children than he is for himself. But he also had a very long and solid career, so good for him. But you can see that the crowd wasn't super into it. So I don't know if having the tag team titles on the line was going to mean that much more to anyone. But it just seemed like a match that didn't fit at all. So, but it kind of showed how like pro wrestling can be real and unexpected finishes can happen anytime in the World Wrestling Federation. Mm-hmm. So here's the match we advertised. Something real happened, the title change, and we're going to give you the advertised match. Here it is, and it was just fine.
Does the match matter?
Not to me, no. I could live my life without ever having to come across it again.
I agree with that. I'm not clamoring to see that match again.
Yeah, I agree. This match does not matter. So we all know that 1994 is a wild time in wrestling. It was kind of the down year, especially in the WWF. John, you want to give us the state of pro wrestling in 1994?
I mean, business-wise, their worst year would be 1995, actually. But, usually it takes a year to develop that. They're still in a very big lull. Lots of fans of wrestling came from this era. Some people really grew up and enjoyed these characters at this time. But, I certainly wasn't a fan at this point. They no longer had, the Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man, those guys from the early 90s. Bret Hart was your number one guy, and as much respect and love we had for the Hitman now, even in that Netflix Vince McMahon documentary, he says it's like Bret Hart wasn't the most charismatic guy in the world. So they were just going by, and this was like, it wasn't peak, occupational pro wrestler. It wasn't TL Hopper and the Goon and, well, Duke the Dumpster Drosy might have been around at this time. But it was still very, very cartoony, very small, buildings that they would film Raw in and Superstars. So, yeah, like I said, there's, even though Bret Hart had already been at least a 2-time champion here, they're still transitioning from the golden era of Hogan, Macho, Ultimate Warrior to the beginnings of the Attitude Era. This is the new generation. That's what they are. That's the new generation. They're trying things out, and that's why when we look back and we see, the babies of guys that we would soon be bigger stars. Bret Hart would be a bigger star in 3 years. So would Diesel, so would Razor and Shawn, so we're seeing them just developing and becoming who they are. So if you like that aspect of wrestling, then that's why you remember the new generation fondly.
All right. Well, after this, we see Leslie Nielsen. He's playing his role as Detective Frank Drevin. I think that's how you say last name. Driven.
Yep.
It doesn't matter
Frank
what the last
Drebin.
name is, but yeah.
Yep.
He's taking on his role from the Naked Gun character, and he's looking for the Undertaker. We haven't seen the Undertaker since the Royal Rumble in 1994 when he went missing in that casket match against Yokozuna. He went missing. Where the hell is he at? So he's trying to find him, because tonight in the main event, we have the Undertaker taking on the Undertaker. Very interesting. John, you have seen Naked Gun. How was that movie? The new one with the dude from Taken.
Liam
Neeson, yeah.
Yes, the
dude from Taken.
The 2025 Naked Gun movie, which, they did play with the numbers. It is a reboot and a sequel, a rebootquel, because it does, So anyway, I watched it last night, and friend of the show, Mitch Silver, he really loved the movie, so I already wanted to see it. I'm known for, I hate watching movie trailers. I'm not interested in any of them, because if I want to see a movie, I know I'm going to go see it. I don't need it spoiled for me. I had a very high interest in this Naked Gun. I'm like, what are they going to do with it? So, rarely, this is one of the trailers I watched. It was enough to say, I think it deserves a chance. Unfortunately, some of the high points, like trailers do, they spoil it in the movie. I didn't love it as much, but I enjoyed it a lot, and it felt like something I haven't experienced in the movie theaters in a long time, where something is just it's funny. Like, it's a total comedy from beginning to end. Its only job is to try to make you laugh. That's all it wants to do. It's not trying to be a philosophical movie, a thinking movie. Its only purpose is to do sight gags, dialogue gags. So if you're a fan of the original Naked Gun movies, you want to have a good time, go check it out. It was a very fun movie. It wasn't like the best comedy ever, but it was a lot of fun, and I think anyone who checks it out will have nothing but positive things to say about it.
The real question was, how's Pam Anderson in that movie?
Well,
did you see Double?
I remember watching Pam Anderson on her show. She had a show called VIP. That was on syndication.
Yep, remember
that was her starring vehicle. And hey, at least her voice sounds the same.
She don't look the same
in real life. Yeah, hey, that's Hollywood.
She's had it rough
for you. Yeah,
Tommy Lee.
Yes. No, but it's good to see her in the movie. It's good to see that she's still around, and hopefully she's good and healthy and happy, and just someone you see, someone like a lot of these people that we know from our childhood. They don't always end up with the best life, or they have bad luck fall upon them. And not to say that she hasn't had any bad luck or anything over the many years, but she looks good, she looks healthy, and she looks happy. So let's hope for the best for Pam Anderson. Anderson.
All right. Well, our next match, we have our WWE Women's Championship match. We have Bull Nakano with Luna Vachon taking on Alundra Blaze, John's girl. And then the match is getting ready to start. We get both women getting presented with flowers. And during this match, Bull Nakano, me and BDC, we know about Bull Nakano because WCW hired her a year later, and she did the same thing what she did in SummerSlam 1994 to Alundra Blaze, and she ragdolled her ass, threw her ass around this whole damn match. Bull, she was unique. She had a unique look to her with the big hair and the big ass, and yeah, and then Alundra Blaze, she was before her time. She was doing some sling blades, some Seth Rollins sling blades, and you know how I feel about that move. But at that time, 1994, it's pretty dope to see. But Bull Nakano, she missed the big leg drop off the top rope. Alundra Blaze, she gets her kicks in, and Luna tries to get involved, but it doesn't work out. Alundra Blaze with a German suplex for the win. BDC, what are your thoughts on Alundra Blaze and Bull Nakano?
It was a match. I mean, I'm always going to go hard for Bull Nakano. I've always been a huge fan of hers. Alundra Blaze at that time was the best the women's division had to offer in WWF.
She's the only one they had to offer.
My exact point. And, you know, but ultimately, I'm watching this match and I'm just like, okay, Bull Nakano should win this match. Bull Nakano should win this match. Oh my God, Bull Nakano did not win this match. How did she not win this match? Like she should have obliterated Alundra Blaze, and Alundra Blaze was the it star at the time for WWF, but Bull Nakano should have destroyed her. And I couldn't suspend belief enough to make it make sense that Alundra Blaze won the match, but
with a German suplex.
With a German suplex,
Bridge.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, clean move. But yeah, Bull Nakano should have wiped the floor with her, but you know, it is what it is. But again, it was a match. It was a good match. And you know, they worked pretty well in the ring together. Luna running around the ring like a rat was kind of funny. Like every time you turn her, she was just like pew pew pew. I'm like, okay, slow down. but yeah, it was a good match. It was a good match.
Does it matter to you?
No.
All right.
It does, and again, because I couldn't suspend belief enough to make that match make sense to me. So no, it does not matter to me.
All right. Well, Strap, I know you're a big Alundra Blaze fan. What are your thoughts on this match right here?
It's very interesting to watch, having watched this match again a second time, because the very first time I watched it, I was blown away, because I think the expectations of a 1994 WWF match, man or woman, is one thing. So if you see something that totally is not 1994 WWF action, you'll just be pleasantly surprised. And that's what happened to me. I thought this match was incredible the very first time I watched it, because it blew my expectations out of the water. I didn't expect anything like I saw. I mean, it was very stiff, very hard hitting. It was very Japanese style, and I really loved it. You know. That was my original thought. Having watched it recently for this show, again, I was looking forward to it, and I couldn't believe it was the second match, but I understand that's the placement it would probably have. And I, too, noted that Bull Nakano was just ragdolling Alundra Blaze. I'm like, Jesus! Good Lord! But that being said, didn't change the fact that it was a stiff, hard-hitting Japanese strong style match, and I think that's what drew me to it initially. But the whole match, even with BDC, everything he mentioned, you know, even with the ragdolling and Alundra Blaze magically pulling out the win at the end, and Luna Vachon running crazy at ringside, that's all pro wrestling. That's all something we've seen in any other pro wrestling match. It's a trope, you know. It's, you know, because, you know, I not entirely familiar with, you know, the women's division run in 1994, but I can imagine that, you know, Luna Vachon was one of Alundra Blaze's, you know, primary opponents, and they fight. Luna can't beat her for the title, so she brings in a friend from Japan to get her, and that's why she's managing Bull Nakano at ringside. But yeah, you know, that's why I like Alundra Blaze. You know, I mean, I didn't know much about her, just seen her from the magazines I got from a friend back in the day. But anyway, watching it with the second time with a second pair of eyes, it wasn't the match I remembered initially, but I'll still say it was entertaining enough for me because it's not a women's match you would expect to see in 1994. And it showed you that, hey, you know what, Alundra Blaze and Bull Nakano, they could have, if they built more of a division around, like more than just the two of them, they could have had something. They really could have. But that just wasn't in the cards for the WWF at the time. But for me, the match matters to me.
So I just looked up the 1994 roster of women for the WWF. Alundra Blaze, number 1. Bull Nakano, number 2. Number 3, Leilani Kai. I didn't know she was still around in 1994. Granted, you see her now in Saturday Night's Main Event and whatnot.
I had to block her from Instagram. I'm like, or Facebook. I'm like, I'm tired of seeing you. I don't know you. I don't know you.
She's all over the place. Yeah,
she is.
She's all over the place on social media. Yeah, like I know
her name, but I don't know what she looks. I mean, I don't know. Like Bull Nakano, the hair, and Aja Kong, the face paint and the body.
Yeah.
I don't know what Leilani Kai looks like. Back in the day. I know what she looks like now. She looks like a white woman. Is she Hawaiian? I don't know. Her name's Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
so Alundra Blaze, Bull Nakano, Leilani Kai. They have Linda McMahon. Nobody's seen Linda McMahon in '94, and Luna Vachon.
They had her listed as. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Linda McMahon didn't start making it out on TV till like '97. How did she end up in the talent roster in '94? That's crazy.
I'm looking at this roster. I'm looking at this roster for men right now. It's funny. No, I'm looking at the SmackDownHotel.com. I've been on that website a few times. I'm looking at the 1994 roster for men now. It's funny. I'm gonna name a few guys I never even heard of before. Let's see if you guys know who it is. You guys ever heard of the Black Phantom?
No.
I've heard of Fantasio.
What about Charlie Hunter?
Nope.
Chris Hamrick?
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Wow, Tenryu was still on the roster in '94? He was at WrestleMania back in the day. Tenryu.
The youngster, Tenryu.
Let's see. Who else they got? I don't know. Oh shit!
The women's division in 1994 reminds me of WWF doing the light heavyweight division, and they'll have one star and one opponent at one time. Taka Michinoku versus insert your luchador of the month.
Yeah, they got Roddy Piper with a beard in this picture.
I used to do that in school. You remember I used to do those black and white composition books?
Yeah.
In the back of the book, I would write the rosters, and I would update it every week based on who was on, WCW Saturday Night, or WWF Mania Superstars, and I'd have people on there like just one-offs, jobbers. So, Mark Hodges. Okay, never seen him again. Next week, I rewrite the roster. Yeah, gone. Disorderly conduct.
They got Chris Kanyon on the 1994 roster.
Well,
better than Kanyon.
Glenn Ruth. He's better than Kanyon. He was, Glenn Ruth. He's one of the headbangers. He was a jobber on Raw in '93.
Dwayne Gill's on there too.
Former
Gilbert.
Do you remember at the '98 Survivor Series, Vince McMahon is like, we have coming in a former wrestler from the early '90s, and everyone thought it was Macho Man. And it was Dwayne Gill.
That was his first. That was his first middle finger to the fans.
Dwayne Gill versus James Ellsworth.
The first of many middle fingers to the fans.
All right. Well, our next match, we have Diesel, who's your Intercontinental Champion and one half of your Tag Team Champion, with the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and he's taking on the bad guy, Razor Ramon, with Sweet Walter Payton. So this match right here, Shawn Michaels, he is in full-blown gimmick. He's trying to interfere. in every single way that he possibly can. But every single time he tries to interfere, Walter Payton, he prevents him. And then during the point of the match, Shawn's trying to interfere again, and the ref is trying to prevent Walter Payton from attacking Shawn. And Shawn, he basically blindsides Razor with a clothesline. And throughout the whole match, Shawn's trying to get the damn turnbuckle pad off. It finally came off, and Diesel was getting ready to throw Razor into the exposed turnbuckle, but Sweetness pointed out to the ref, and Earl Hebner, he moved so damn quickly, and he blocked the damn thing. It was pretty interesting to see like a referee move that quickly, like, no. And then, he tried to fix it up, whatnot. But he's still trying to hit him with the exposed turnbuckle, but Razor countered, and then he just rammed Diesel right into it. And Razor's getting pissed off at Shawn. Shawn's on the ring apron. Razor hits him with a big right hand. Shawn oversold that punch and landed on that damn ring apron or the barricade. Oh my goodness. Shawn was before his time. He is Mr. Perfect, but nobody realized it at the time. But yeah.
Nice.
Shawn was trying to nail Razor Ramon with the IC title, but Peyton stopped him again. So HBK, he goes for Sweet Chin Music. He misses. He hit Diesel. And Razor Ramon, he gets the win. And Diesel is pissed off after this match. You see Shawn pissed off walking to the back. Diesel's right behind him. Yo, come here. Come here. Let me talk to you. Come here. Woo. My God. So, Strap, I'm not sure. How long was Diesel the Intercontinental Champion for?
I think he wanted the King of the Ring. Probably not. I think it wasn't Bret versus Diesel at the King of the Ring, but no, I don't know. Let's see, 94. Yeah, right. He must have won it from Razor sometime. Maybe it was on a Monday Night Raw or a house show, because the infamous WrestleMania 10 Shawn versus Razor for the IC title. So Razor would have had the title. And like I said, I think Diesel and Bret had a match. I think they showed it as a highlight on this pay-per-view. Because, yeah, the Owen Hart and Anvil interfered or something like that. But, yeah, I don't know the exact question to answer that. But that's okay.
I don't know either when Razor Ramon lost it to Diesel. I know that clip about Neidhart and Razor Ramon was talking about Owen Hart winning King of the Ring, but not really sure. But it doesn't really feel like it was a really long time that he held that title before he lost it to Razor Ramon again.
But
it doesn't feel like really long.
So they did a video interview backstage before the match, and that's when it all came together. Sometimes things are very transparent, It's like, why do the Head Shrinkers lose the tag titles to Diesel and Shawn Michaels the day before a pay-per-view? I bet you it's because Shawn Michaels, doing some backstage politicking, was like, hey, Razor's got a celebrity. He's got Walter Payton, football superstar. You need it, and I'm there at ringside. What would look good is if I had a nice, shiny championship belt on my waist facing off against this guy. So when famous celebrity Walter Payton beats me up, he's beating up a guy with a championship belt. That would probably make the newspapers and make WWF look better that way. So you should put the titles on us. I don't know that. There's lots of things I conjecture, but that one I completely made up. But I think that happened.
Sounds about right.
It sounds really correct that happened, because it makes no sense otherwise. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's possible, but BDC, what are your thoughts on this match right here?
I think that John pretty much nailed it. Talking about the last match, these two guys in the ring, Shawn Michaels all over the place outside of the ring, doing everything possible to get involved. If there's a gimmick to be had, it showed itself twice in a row. I mean, the match itself, it wasn't going to be a technical masterpiece by any stretch. But it was solid. You know, they've always worked well together. I'm still humored at the fact that Scott Hall in WCW was a raging country boy before he came to WWF and somehow played the coolest Cuban on the planet to the point where that became his character for the remainder of his wrestling career. I'm still astounded by that. Overly astounded by that. But you know, this match shows you that the sweet chin music, the super kick used to be a finisher. Like literally, Diesel caught it and he was down for about a minute before he even got pinned, and he still took the 1-2-3. You know, that was when the super kick was an actual finisher and not just fool's gold to anybody who wants to have a super kick party these days. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, it was a match, and Sean did his part, and you know, it portrayed Diesel as somebody who was not going to lose unless something happened, and something happened. Walter Payton being there was absolute fan fodder. Everybody, they were just happy the Chicago guy was there in Chicago, and he was doing everything he possibly could to keep Shawn Michaels away from the action. I don't know who the other dude that showed up after the match was over, the not Walter Payton dude that showed up in the ring.
That was his son, supposedly.
That was Jarrett Payton? Okay.
I don't know his name, but yeah, supposedly.
Yeah, dude was, I was like, oh, who the hell is that? Anyway, but yeah, it was a decent match. It was a good match. I did like the match for what it was back then.
Doesn't matter to
again,
you.
Was it gonna be a masterpiece? But you know, ultimately, I think it matters to me for the reasons I explained, because I'm still astounded by the fact that this raging country boy became the coolest Cuban on the planet. And you know, this was a time where Razor Ramon was starting his ascension, and then ultimately it all ends off with Diesel getting his rise up. So I think it definitely matters in that regard, especially since these two, a little over a year or so later, would then go to WCW and turn WCW completely on its head. So I think it does matter in that respect, because it was just building them up. It was building them up for eventually taking that spot.
All right, Strap. What about you? Does this match matter to you?
Yeah, I like the match. But you know, to say that, you know, Scott Hall, the person, you know, adopting the Cuban Razor Ramon character for the rest of his life, pretty much. I mean, if you find something that suits you, put on the damn suit. And for that, I don't refer to just Scott Hall. I refer to Robert Downey Jr. He is, I mean, once he became Iron Man, he was Tony Stark for the ref, and he will be Tony Stark for the rest of his life. And you know, he was an actor. He was a lost Brat Pack era actor. He was just a lost soul. He got himself into trouble as a young person, and he grew up. He sobered up. He found his way, and he said, "Fuck it, man. Tony Stark is who I am from now on and the rest of my life." And that's all right with us, I guess. But yeah, Diesel versus Razor, just a fascinating matchup between two of the WWF New Generation guys, and of course, knowing how they would end up as, you know, NWO originals, just crazy, you know. But for the match itself, I just thought it was well done. You know, Diesel as a younger guy, Kevin Nash, man, look at him move. Look at him do all this stuff. He's wrestling like not a 7-foot guy should wrestle, but like I said, he was young in the business, and that's when you'll get the most athletic Kevin Nash you'll ever see. And Razor Ramon also at a peak Razor Ramon style. So if it had more of the finish was good. You're talking about the super kick, sweet chin music. Yes, that stopped being a finisher when Shawn Michaels retired. But let me tell you something, brother. He had at least almost 18 more years of it being a finisher, so that's okay. Maybe not right now, but until he retired in 2010, it was still a finisher. But anyway, I like the match. There's little things I thought could be done better, but it does matter to me.
And it definitely does matter to me. But BDC, I have a question for you. At this time in 1994, do you think that Diesel had the look to be a future WWF champion?
He had the size, yes. The look, no. That hair was killing me.
That was a style back in the day, man.
That hair was absolutely killing me. It was like this dude was rocking the 90s soccer mom hairdo. That shit was crazy to me. But he had the size. I mean, he definitely had somewhat of the charisma on the mic. Shawn was helping him with that. I think when he dropped Shawn, oddly enough, he dropped Shawn and he started to kind of go out on his own. That was when the makings of the superstar came, because it was like it was more or less like he was a prop for Shawn Michaels until he was separated from Shawn Michaels and showed he could do it on his own. And that's when he became a star.
I totally agree. Mm-hmm.
I was sometimes when you're presented with things like when I got into wrestling, I was presented with the fact that Diesel was the longest reigning WWF champion in a really long time. He had almost a year long run. Well, yeah. And to me, that's what I knew. I was presented as Diesel has been a great year-long WWF champion, and he looked cool. He seemed cool to me, and yeah, that's it. That's my childhood growing up memory. And I've seen some clips. I've seen some little videos of his interviews, and like, oh man, Diesel was so corny as WWF champion. And I'm like, what? And I'm watching not just one video, watch another one, watch another thing, watch him you sing Christmas bells at the Christmas time at WWF headquarters in Stamford. And then even that interview that him and Shawn did with Todd Pettengill earlier in this show. And it's like, maybe I find him corny now, or maybe he was always corny, but he's really corny, he's not as cool as I was presented with, So seeing holes in his game as we watch these things, it's kind of like, maybe you just say to yourself, like, like with fashion trends and things of that nature, you're like, what were they thinking? So, did Diesel have the tools to be, a main eventer and world champion, all that stuff? It's like, I don't know. Vince saw something in him, and I don't see it anymore. But good thing he was just a right guy at the right place at the right time, because it ain't working so well many, many, many years later for me.
What he saw was a dude that was damn near 7 foot tall, and he saw a guy that maybe, he had caught lightning in a bottle with the Undertaker, that maybe he can catch lightning in a bottle again. Because if you notice, like after Taker came along, there was a sudden rash of really tall guys coming into the WWF for a bit. And it literally did go from the sublime to the ridiculous at one point, because what was it, Giant Gonzalez? Yeah, he had a fascination for really tall guys, and literally, yeah, it somewhat struck for Diesel, it somewhat struck for Razor Ramon, it really struck for Kane. It didn't strike for Isaac Yankem, which he was beforehand. It didn't strike for the Harris brothers. One of them played
John
Fake
Boys.
Taker. You know, so it was like a kind of a fixation on tall guys after Taker came in and really hit hard with the WWF universe. You know, is there somebody that maybe he could have put in Diesel's place that maybe was not so big and could have still done it? Maybe, maybe not. But it's always easiest to go to the big guy who's going to be dominating and make him the star, since he should be dominating for his size.
Facts. Vince did love his big guys, and the reason why Big Daddy Cool was pretty corny at the time because Vince, or he wanted to, be something what he thought Vince would like, wearing a suit, shaking hands, kissing babies and whatnot. But that's what Kevin Nash did.
He's Vinny Vegas.
How you doing? All right, so we got Todd Pettengill backstage with Tatanka and Lex Luger, and Tatanka is accusing Lex Luger of selling out. And guys, we talked about Lex Luger's run early this year because Lex Luger is in the Hall of Fame now. Congratulations, Lex Luger. You definitely deserve it. But Lex Luger said that he didn't sell out, that deep in his soul that he didn't sell out, that he's going to go to the ring by himself and he's going to win that match against Tatanka by himself, and that he's going to prove that he didn't sell out. All right, well, our next match is Tatanka versus Lex Luger. And then we see during the match, Ted DiBiase comes down to the ring with a bag full of money. We already discussed this. You want to hear our full analysis of this match? Check the archives. But Tatanka rolls up Lex Luger, and he gets the win. And Luger is pissed. What are you doing here? Why are you here? I don't need you. Blah, 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 blah. And Ted, he's in the ring with all this cash in his hand. And Luger kicks the bag. Money goes flying all over the place. And Tatanka, he beats that ass. Tatanka is the one who sold out. And yeah. Did you guys see any of this taking place? Did you guys expect Tatanka to sell out?
Well, I will say honestly that the moment he started getting accusatory, I had a feeling something was up. At this point, I've seen a couple of heel turns in my day, and back at that time, heel turns usually followed a very particular formula. It became a bit of doubting, then it became aggressive, and then came the heel turn. And when Tatanka started accusing Lex Luger of being a sellout and all of that, I figured something was coming, because it's like, oh, well, this is totally against his character. Now he's just blaming people for stuff that is not really under their control. And before you know it, we have Tatanka in his Native American gear wearing black trunks. That's what we got. So ultimately, I felt something was coming. Did I think it would be him taking a heel turn and siding with Ted DiBiase? No, but I knew something was coming.
Strap, what about you? What are your thoughts on Tatanka turning heel? Did you expect him to, was it obvious for him turning heel?
It was so annoying. Like Tatanka, I'm not saying he doesn't know how to speak English, because he obviously does. But him just repeating the same line over and over again, because he had literally nothing else to say. You sold out, Lex. Lex, you sold out. Lex, sold out. Lex, sold out. You sold out, Lex. He's saying the same shit for like 5 minutes straight. And like maybe someone told him, like, hey, we want you to say that. Only that. And it's like, just kept saying nonstop. Like, that's the dead giveaway that he's the one turning heel. Like, he's the one that sold out. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, Tatanka, when he debuted, he was on an undefeated streak. That streak was broken by Ludwig Borga, push that went nowhere. And I seem like he was just a floundering guy. You know, they enter that mid card and they're kind of stuck there for a long time. So Lex Luger just approaching the mid card at that point in his WWF career. So you have the two right at the same level, and that's where this storyline was birthed from. But what I'm more concerned with is the aftermath of the turn, because he joined the corporation. He would just be in the corporation for the next 2 years.
Not even that. Really, not even that, bro.
Not really. Even that. And he wouldn't even accomplish anything. It was just a really bad turn. It was a waste of time and space, and it's just sad because it felt like Tatanka did have more potential at one time, but by 1994 SummerSlam, it was all over for Tatanka. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think the hilarity of it is that they brought him in and they sold him so hard on being Native American and being the pride of his people, and then here he is selling out. it was like
open the casino.
It was like, did we all forget how his story started? So now it's like, I am the pride of my people and I will take white man money. Is that where we're at now? It's
like heel move. Yeah, see on the res.
It was wild. It was wild times, man.
Damn. So hold on. I know we covered Lex Luger's WWF run a couple months ago.
Mm.
I thought the blow off was at Survivor Series '94. It wasn't. But
the blow off?
Because it was a traditional match, the corporation versus Luger's team.
Mm.
And Borga was on that team. But no, because I'm looking at the traditional matches for SummerSlam '94 right now. You had the $1 Million Team, Bam Bam Bigelow, Jimmy Del Rey, King Kong Bundy, Tatanka, and Bruce Pritchard. Oh, never mind. This is it. Never mind. And they defeated Guts and Glory. Never mind. I'll take that back. My mistake. Guts and Glory, Adam Bomb, Bart Gunn, Billy Gunn, Lex Luger, and Mabel with Oscar. And Tatanka.
We'll be talking about him soon.
Tatanka didn't even get Tatanka got eliminated early. So obviously, I just told you they don't care about Tatanka.
They don't care about the brown man.
They care about the white man because they're getting him ready for WrestleMania.
Good job, Chris Chavis.
They're just getting Bam Bam Bigelow ready for WrestleMania 11. That's what they're getting ready to do. Why? That was your main event of LT.
Dong is in stunned silence.
Nah, I'm not in stunned silence. We already know the deal. We already talked about it beforehand. I did enjoy this as a kid. It definitely brings me a lot of flashbacks, but what happened? You saw screen went black. So, have an Abel moment. But it definitely brought me back, gave me some flashbacks and whatnot, but it didn't pay off for Tatanka because after this right here, where the hell did he go? He came back to He came back to WWFE later on. SmackDown 2000.
He went to catering.
5.
He went to catering.
This story that when he on that run, the 2006 run of Tatanka.
There you go.
That he gave storyline ideas to the writers on a floppy disk. And we can't read this anymore, Mr. Chavez. But Tatanka originally came at his second run, his second run in the WWE. It began because I believe Kurt Angle had an open invitational to any local competitor, and he was at Mohegan Sun Arena, and he said, "There's no one from this area, an Indian casino." Yay! Not Jacob Fatu, no, Tatanka, and they had a really great match at Mohegan Sun Arena, and that began the comeback for Tatanka in 2006 until he turned heel again. And then he made his way out. I think he made it to a WrestleMania pre-show battle royal And that was it for the
Oh,
Native
Lord.
American.
So I'm looking up Tatanka's Wikipedia right now to see what happened after $1 Million Corporation.
I thought you did prep for this show.
I didn't think about this until now.
Right now.
Well, Tatanka was suspended on August 30th, reportedly after being named in a lawsuit filed by a woman stemming from an incident in Anaheim, California, following an incident in the WWF show in '94. According to sources, the woman was said to have been drugged and had her head shaved on one side.
What? Wait, what?
And Kevin Nash, Diesel, reiterated the story in his interview. The woman was having drinks with him and Undertaker the night prior. When the wrestlers were leaving the hotel the following morning, Nash noticed that she was seated in between two police officers. The hallway was smeared in blood, and she had half her head shaven, and she was crying. Oh, my Lord. And they tried to, instead of him saying Tatanka, they said it was Jimmy Del Rey that did it. They tried to blame Jimmy. Oh, Lord. And Tatanka had a lawsuit that he was unfairly suspended.
How'd that turn out?
You sold out, Lex. You sold out.
Well, his final match was March 18, 1996, in a non-televised match against Bret Hart. And yeah, then he left the company. Then did the Indies from 96 to 2003. Made his return in 2005 to 2007.
They told Bret to put the sharpshooter on him for real.
Oh, shit. And he came back in 2010. Oh,
I think he was on a Legends episode.
Yeah, that was it.
I think he was in the WrestleMania 32 Battle Royal. With Andre. He was.
Anyways, the whole Lex Luger and Tatanka storyline. You say it's terrible, but it mattered. It definitely does matter back in the day, especially for our childhood. I was interested into it. So
for sure, it was a featured feud, and look at his placement. It was above the Intercontinental title match, man. So they obviously had bigger plans. The plans just fizzled out, but they had big plans for these guys.
I told you, I met Tatanka. He says, everybody asked me that one question. Why?
Did he answer the question, though?
He did. He said, for the money.
Why did you litter on the side of the highway?
He says, for the money. Everybody asked Tatanka that question. Everybody asked Mick Foley the same question every single time. John probably didn't ask Mick Foley this question.
What question's that?
Did it hurt?
When he fell from heaven, or when he fell from the cage?
Both. He said, everybody asked me this question. Yeah. We want to know. Did it hurt?
Yes, it hurt.
Shoot.
It absolutely hurt.
Jesus, almost killed you.
The way that boy bounced off the table, yeah, that shit hurt. Man, the way he bounced off the ring, that shit definitely hurt.
And you want people to say, "Oh, that was a stunt double." How? How the hell is that a stunt double?
It's on camera, isn't it?
Seriously. All right. Since we're talking about double, we're going to talk about Double J taking on Mabel in our next match. Mabel from Men on the Mission. Where the hell is Mo?
Oh, yeah, that's right, because the rapper was there, but it was...
Yeah, Oscar was there. No Mo.
He was too busy smearing blood on a hotel wall.
Well, Oscar had the crowd rocking. They was raising the roof like Booker T. But I honestly don't know what was the point of this match right here. I'll tell you right now, this match does not matter. It's just a filler match. Double J, Jeff Jarrett, he used his speed to beat Mabel. Mabel went for a squash, and he missed, and Double J got the win. That's all my notes have. Nothing I can really say. It doesn't matter.
The hilarity that Mabel, who had this on the back of his
piece of
his whatever you want to call it, his gear,
piece of that
got
ass.
beat got beat by a guy who does this.
Shoot.
Yeah, I forgot, you know.
Man,
That's
Boy,
that's
crazy.
oh
very
boy.
black. His shirt, that is.
Still got that mullet.
Let me I forgot that how green Mabel was when he was with Men on a Mission
Can you
before the
believe?
heel turn.
Can you believe what? Less than 6 months or so, or
Like
eight months, he wins King of the Ring.
Ring. Yeah, I forget how green that dude was. I mean, he was so incredibly green. But yeah, I mean, this dude becomes Big Daddy V. This dude becomes Viscera. This dude becomes just that dude in a lot of ways, and you didn't see him. You didn't. Only thing you could see when he first came out was Barney.
I tell you
Was
what, you said
rocking
you see,
that high quality purple and gold.
you said all the characters he portrayed. You said you seen Barney, but that dude had longevity.
Oh, absolutely. Like he had an ability to reinvent himself, and even when they had the heel turn and Men on a Mission, and then he becomes Viscera, and then he becomes Big Daddy V. All of that, he absolutely was a master of reinventing himself.
He has storylines.
Daddy.
Him and Lillian
Yeah.
Garcia. Garcia.
Don't.
Woo!
Don't do it.
Johnny looking kind of buff there. Oh,
It
man.
doesn't matter. Calendar.
Oh, man.
Oh man. Yeah, so
It's gonna be.
It's going to be May. Mariah May.
yeah.
Like, sometimes we're doing these shows, and, on certain shows we've made agreements to do some matches, but not all. But sometimes I just want to skip it. Like, I want to skip the Head Shrinkers and IRS and Bam Bam Bigelow. I saw Jeff Jarrett and Mabel. I want to skip this too, but what's the point? I could do the 5 minutes doing some dishes or something. Just leave it on the TV so I don't have to watch another Peacock commercial because I have the cheap plan.
Yeah, I died.
But this match came and it went, and these two guys
I can stay going.
I could stay gone. I mean, these guys are Attitude Era wrestlers, man. They were both there in 1999 in the Ministry of Darkness and beating China in a Good Housekeeping match. These guys have been around a very long time, but their longevity does not mean they're interesting. They're boring, both of them. Boring, both of them.
How could you say that about the King of the Mountain?
What about 2000 Jeff Jarrett? We seen him. We talked about him.
I don't care if his DVD has 10 discs. The King of the Mountain.
Oh, man. Well, I could just say it's unanimous. This match does not matter. It definitely was a filler match. Oh, man.
Oh, you want to talk about filler coming up? Yeah, they used to build that steel cage the old way. That video package was long as hell.
Yeah, sorry.
It's only a 3-hour pay-per-view, man. Jesus.
Oh, man. Yes, our next match is a cage match for the World Wrestling Federation title. We have Bret the Hitman Hart, your champion, taking on his younger brother who beat him at WrestleMania 10, Owen Hart, the Rocket. And yes,
the King of Hearts.
The King of Hearts. They show the video package how we got to where we're at right now. And by the time the video package is over, they still been building that goddamn cage. And so what do you do to give them more time? Vince McMahon going to go interview the parents. Stu looking like he's falling asleep, and Helen just sitting there smiling the whole time.
Yeah. Like, I spent a good deal of time watching Stu during it because they had like side by side with Stu and Helen when they were in the ring wrestling, and Helen was clapping for everybody, which mothers do. But Stu is literally out there like this. He's like, dude, are we watching a boxing match? What the hell's happening right now? Like he's having his moment, like he's back in the ring. I'm like, he on one right now. But yeah, they took a really long time with that cage. And I mean, that would be the cage that they used for some time before they went back to the actual gate looking cage that they use now. I never really understood why they went to that style of cage, but the hell am I going to argue with it about? You shouldn't do that with whatever. It is what it is. But like
We've covered that.
Yeah, the cage was always one lubed head short of being if somebody's getting their head stuck in there and never being able to get out. Then they'd have to like literally saw that thing off to get their head out. It was great. It would have made for a great time. You get somebody in there with some baby oil all over their head and just right in there, and they're stuck. They're never getting out. It would have been great. It would have been great.
What you talking about, Willis?
I'm talking about that ridiculous cage. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that ridiculous cage.
BBC may not recall, but why that cage came into being. Mentioned it a few times here and there. Lots of stuff in the archives. Over 220 episodes of the It Doesn't Matter podcast since its inception. But they went from the fence style steel cage to the big blue cage. The kayfabe reason is that classy Freddie Blassie said, you need to make the cage bigger and wider so you can fit the camera inside the spokes so you can see the action in the ring. So that's the kayfabe reason why they went to the big blue cage, a special cage that you would never see in real life. And the real reason that they went to the big blue cage is because they had a bunch of big fat guys in the 1980s, like King Kong Bundy. That's when
it climbed the cage.
They can climb the cage. That's why it debuted at WrestleMania 2 with Bundy and Hogan. They made it just for King Kong Bundy and guys like him, Big John Studd, to climb the cage. So they put their big fat foot in there. So that's the quote real reason for the cage.
That's right.
Them motherfuckers should have been using the door.
Well, unless you're Jesse the Body Ventura, you're a coward, Damian Priest, the baby face, for going through the steel cage door. Or was it? Yeah, something like that. He's a coward. He's a coward. He's running away.
That's why you ain't got no job, Jesse. That's why you ain't got no job.
I have metal in my hip from my time in the Navy SEALs. Anyway.
All right, well, it's one of your main event. Owen Hart and Bret Hart for the title. And guys, what an instant classic cage match right here, man. A pure wrestling classic between these two brothers. And they really didn't even, this is before its time. They didn't even really use the cage like that. There was no blood, nothing like that. It was straight, pure wrestling technical ability right here.
Right.
And the fans, they were totally invested in this whole match. The family was invested in this match.
Mm-hmm.
The Hitman, he gets the win. And then hell breaks loose. Anvil gets involved. The other brothers that we don't know, Keith, Bruce.
Yep.
They taking bumps. They trying to stop Anvil from, the double team they putting on Bret right now. The Bulldog with his Indian gear, he tried to climb up the cage. He's looking like what's my man? Oh wow, the archive show in WCW. What's the name? Norris. What was his name? The Indian dude from Norris in WCW.
I couldn't remember his name earlier.
Oh my god, Charlie Norris. That's what Bulldog looking like Charlie Norris right here.
You don't remember in the early '90s, man, that Arizona Mesa Desert look was all the rage, man. You saw that shit everywhere. You saw it at Moe's Burritos. You saw it at Taco Bell. You saw that shit on paper cups. That shit was everywhere. Say away.
Yeah, man. So they get involved and they're trying to, to get in to help their brother-in-law or their brother Bret. And Owen with one boot on, he's kicking away. They punching in the ribs. Anvil looking crazy with the shorts and the Spanx and the damn tights on under. Oh man, it's a great time. And Owen says, the family never supported him. It's always about Bret. You always never worried about me. It's always about Bret. He only had one family member that stuck by his side, and that's right there. That's the Anvil right there. Oh.
Yeah. One of the things, and it was subtle. It was subtle. One of the things that came with the King of Hearts is, if you look at Bret's gear, at that point in time, not only the speckles, but the shade of pink darkened. Owen Hart kept the original pink and black as quote unquote King of Hearts, but Bret's gear, the color dark, the shade of pink darkened. So when you had this match going on, it was like I was like, oh, you're looking at it. I was like, so instead of having two guys wear the exact same colors in the ring, it's like Bret has essentially given it up. He still had the wrist tape was still that color pink, but his gear was that he darkened the shade of pink in his gear, and Owen kept the original pink color, and that's how it remained the entirety of the time until Owen went to the caution tape, which he went there. It was
all the Hearts had the black and pink on at one point.
No, but the thing of it is yeah, they all had the black and pink. But if you look at Bret Hart specifically, as this angle went in, the shade of pink that he wore darkened. His shade dark, like he was trying to quote unquote stand out. But again, as I said, Owen Hart, being the King of Hearts, had the original pink and black color, and I thought I was like, that's pretty cool. It's like you wouldn't think, okay, well, why would he just darken his out of nowhere? Because he's had worn that same color for years, and now all of a sudden, because Owen's now wearing pink and black all the time, now his attire has changed to allow Owen to continue to wear the pink and black as it originally was, since he was a King of Hearts.
Bret did stand out. He had pants.
Bret stood out. Bret stood out with the color to me, and the changing of his design because Anvil was wearing that same pink and black too, and it was kind of like, okay, well, I'm no longer associated with him. My color's darker now.
Strap, do you believe that?
I don't disagree with BDC, but I did not notice. I did not notice it. But yeah. But what I did notice though was this was at the end of the match, and that's when Anvil had to sneak past the Hart brothers by attacking them in their seats, right? So here's the Bulldog. Here's the Bulldog and Diana. And Bulldog just doing this. Like, he's not changing his pose because he's waiting for him to get clotheslined from behind by the Anvil. But it's just so fake. Oh! I just thought that was funny. But, you had to make it obvious that he knocked out anyone that could help Bret, during the beatdown. But what I liked about the match was it's hard to say, like, it was brother versus brother, so, but it really felt like they were fighting, like, in the house, like, every time the cage door would open, Bret was there or Owen was there. Well, Owen, for example, he leaped. He leapt. He was the Rocket. He leapt to grab Bret's foot so he wouldn't get out the cage door. And he did that many, many times. The energy that he had, the energy that Bret had, it's like they could have rehearsed this many times, but it was a very just well done, not a sprint, I would say, but it was just action, always something going on. It was believable. I wanted to make fun of Dom a little bit for saying it was an instant classic because it was over 30 minutes long, but it was a slow cooked classic. But it was very well done. It deserves its place as one of the top steel cage matches of all time.
Yep.
And it was just very, very good. And it should have closed the show. Let's just say that.
I agree.
Duh.
All right, so where do you rate this cage match? Anybody?
Well, I mean, cage matches. I mean, over time they've lost their luster. They still advertise it today as like, because no one can escape. We locked the two guys inside, man. Every child knows that people interfere all the time anyway. So
right,
it's just a farce, really. But no,
yeah,
I mean,
Hell in a Cell killed that.
The Hell in a Cell pay-per-view killed it. I would have to say, for me, the last best Hell in a Cell match, it was CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. And the reason why I say that is just because of the build. It got you to Bad Blood. And we seen blood. It was a bloody match.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to randomly pick like a Hell in a Cell match, I'd want to revisit. I think it's probably their last match, the Usos and the New Day. Probably Big E and Kofi, maybe, or
Big E and Xavier. I just played that match in WWE 2K. Beat it one time.
That's something I would like to revisit. I mean, I have that DVD. Bloodbath of WWF's best cage matches, and it's tough. It's not my favorite match. So it's tough to say. I can remember memorable ones, but as for favorite cage match, I couldn't really think of one off the top of my head right now. But this is, if you made a DVD, this one better sure be on there for sure. That's what I say.
Right. And I think when it comes to cage matches are more so remembered for spots versus actual matches. Of course, you have the infamous Jimmy from Superfly Snuka flying off the top of the cage. You have things like that, and even when you talk about Hell in a Cell, you have Undertaker basically throwing Mankind straight to hell on two separate occasions. You have Undertaker throwing Rikishi into the back of a hay truck. You have these spots that still cage matches are more known for than the actual matches themselves. This, on the other hand, would be something that would be remembered for the match and not for spots.
This was a steel cage match, not a steel cage spectacle.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly right.
You don't need blood. You don't need all the violence. They didn't even need this damn cage match, to be honest with you. They didn't need
when you have two technically superior athletes in the ring like that, and they just so happen to be from the same family, that's gold. That's gold when you can get that.
I can say it's all unanimous. This match matters.
Absolutely.
All right, main event time. The Undertaker versus The Undertaker. Like I said beforehand, The Undertaker lost a casket match at the Royal Rumble to Yokozuna, and he vanished. We just see him in the cloud.
It was the magnificent video work of whomever back then that after he got jumped by like half the roster, the villain roster, he gets thrown in this casket, and then all of a sudden a negative image of him appears on screen and he flies out of the arena. Yeah, it was good times, and you had um the $1 Million Man say that he had found the Undertaker and that he was bringing the Undertaker back.
Yep, weeks later. Yep.
Undertaker comes the Undertaker comes back, and he is back to where he was when he first started. Didn't quite look like himself, but it was still the Undertaker. He dressed just like him. Paul Bearer tried to reason with Undertaker to find out that Undertaker was really only listening to the money, only paying attention to the dollar. And then Paul Bearer decides that's not Undertaker. I'm going to go find my Undertaker. And then he does.
Where's Abel at when you need him? Where's Platinum? Oh, yes, I'm gonna find the real Undertaker. Yes, he's gonna come back.
Damn it. I can't go 1 week without hearing that nonsense.
Yes. And
if Undertaker's at the end of it all for the money, I can imagine him at the recycling center putting the cans in the side of the machine.
And it was funny at this time, like BDC said that this was quote unquote the real Undertaker with Ted DiBiase. And then like you could see like superstars, it would be real Undertaker, and then like the following week it'd be fake DOA Undertaker. Like I'm not sure if you guys peeped that back in the day. Well, John didn't watch in '94, but yeah, like I remember seeing that, and he's all about the money. Next, you know, the real Undertaker finally didn't make his debut or his reappearance, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, because I mean, I remember when he first came back. When he first came back, and I'm looking at him like, he don't look right. Like I looked at him, I'm like, yeah, he don't look right. I couldn't put a finger on it. I couldn't really figure out why he didn't look right. But I mean, he had the moves. He was doing things like Undertaker does. I think it was about the third week of matches where I really realized, oh yeah, that's definitely not him. He was starting, the way he was doing the moves was different, and it was like, okay, that's really not him. And so then when you have the match and you actually have Undertaker in the ring with this guy, you see all the difference in the world. Like the real Undertaker had like 3 inches on him. 1. Number 2, he was bigger than him. Number 3, like he literally, like his whole the way he was looking at him, like he looked at him like he was looking through him. I'm like, yeah, that's really him. Like, yep, that's really him. He's gonna kill him. He's gonna kill him. But with that being said, this became the legitimately slowest match of the night. The fans didn't know what to do with this match. They really didn't. There was no crowd reaction for this match, majority of the match, because literally they had no idea what to do. And it was the funniest thing to me, because it's like, aren't you going to cheer the Undertaker? Well, most of these people believe that the other guy was the Undertaker until this Undertaker comes back. So did they feel duped? What's going on? I think when DiBiase's Undertaker was taking over and he started motioning to the money and stuff like that, I think that's kind of when people started to go for the real Undertaker. And then triple tombstone later, he won the match. But
yeah,
I'm a huge Undertaker stan, so I was just happy to see the Undertaker back. The match, no offense, did almost put me to sleep, but it was still Undertaker, so I'm still gonna watch the match. Ted DiBiase, by the time the night was over, his collar was sticking straight up over this way. He looked like he'd had a rough night. And I mean, it was what it was. Taker won. Our Taker won, and started the purple era of the Undertaker. And Faker Taker, aka whichever one of the Harris brothers it was, went on to be whatever he was for however long he was until whatever he was.
What a wrap up.
Yeah, BDC summed it up.
Thank
I
you.
ain't gotta say nothing, but yes, the match as a kid watching this in 1994, I was, pretty amazed at it. I'm like, oh wow, Undertaker versus Undertaker. I can't wait to see who's gonna win. Yes, it's gonna be the Undertaker. But one Undertaker, he overshadowed the other Undertaker. Yes, he was bigger than the one. And then the fake one, Ted DiBiase won, the great Undertaker. He just had all the mannerisms as Mark Calloway, the Undertaker, but it wasn't enough. And then I always thought it was cool when Gray Undertaker went for the tombstone and purple, real Undertaker, he reversed it. Before he reversed it, like he just like extended his arms out, reversed it.
Yep.
Then he hit him with the 2 or 3 tombstones, and the match is over, put him in the casket. That's it. That's it.
That always made me laugh. Watching him fan out.
Yeah.
He fell back and then he did a jumping tombstone. That was he does a jumping tombstone and then he's looking at him like, you gonna get up now? You gonna get up? Okay, I got you. Picks him up and then does it 2 more times. I was like, yeah.
Shoot.
That's Taker.
The last time he did a jumping tombstone later on in his career, when he did jumping tombstone like that, it was against Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 26.
Wait, was that? I'm trying to think. Who slapped him? Was it? It was Shawn. Did Shawn slap him? And then that's
Shawn slapped the shit out of him. Taker's eye just went big. He
did that jumping tombstone.
Oh my god, he killed him. Yeah. That Taker.
I think. I mean, when the Takers, one of them, did the reversal tombstone and just the like the arching of the back kind of thing, I was like, "Wow, that takes some muscles, pure young muscle strength right there." And as for the jumping tombstone, I think he did it in the wrong order. He should have done 2 regular tombstones and then finished it with the jumping one.
Yeah, he did it out of order.
He did it in the wrong order.
Yeah, he did.
He's getting a little too excited.
Well, no, see, and the thing of it is I think the jumping tombstone being first was basically like, oh yeah, you put me in the tombstone here. Try this one for size. And then he was like, okay, you gonna get up? You gonna get up? You're not gonna get up. Okay, and now I'm gonna just go ahead and finish you off. So I like that he did the jumping one first, kind of like that was the statement. That one was the statement like, you can't top me. And after that, Taker didn't move again, and he was just like, all right, let me help you up. I'm gonna go ahead and put you in 2 more, and I'm gonna finish this thing off.
Well, I enjoyed this match as a kid. That's definitely for sure. And
absolutely.
It was cheesy, but it is what it is, and it's my childhood here, so it still matters to me.
Yep.
What about you, Strat?
That's gonna matter to me.
I wanted to hear your thoughts about this show. I know, like I said, I know you started in '95 watching the show, and I used to watch the show heavy on VHS. Then when it first came on Peacock or the network, I watched this. It was like one of the first shows I watched besides WrestleMania 6.
When you kept asking me about it, I was wondering, like, what wacky thing is he dying for me to see? And I'm like, there wasn't anything like that. So I'm not really sure what you like. Sometimes we just see a show. You just see a show. It's either good, bad, boring, very exciting. I didn't try to watch it with a certain perspective. I just watched it normally, and so I didn't really see anything stand out to me. I did think. I mean, like so wacky, backstage Scott interviewer
Scott Dunlap,
yeah. So nothing like that, nothing crazy like that. As a whole, I thought the show was pretty nice because, some matches had some, interference. I mean, I don't like interference in matches. I like clean finishes. Even Tatanka and Lex Luger, it was a roll up. I mean, they had some interference, but it was a roll up. It was a 1, 2, 3. There wasn't a weapon involved. Even the Intercontinental title match had the turnbuckle thing dispatched, So I thought it was a nice show. Just match to match to match to match. I mean, they had those 2 very long video packages for the cage to be built and then dismantled. Paul Bear with the big mag light flashlight inside the urn. I mean, that clip. I didn't know what that clip was from. I know it's from the show now, but they did it in future Undertaker highlight videos, and I thought that's so cool. I don't know what the attendance was. I don't know what the crowd was, but it looked like it was sold out. Yeah. Especially considering it was brand new arena and the United Center. I just finished watching The Last Dance with Michael Jordan just recently, so I was like, United Center, huh? 94, huh? Oh, it wasn't around yet. And I don't think they ever ran there again. I mean, the United Center was WCW territory for many Nitros, and WWF would famously go to the Rosemont Horizon after that. But yes, the show as a whole, I mean, it was. I think it was well timed, well produced, but I didn't see anything really that crazy in it. So if you just like, hey, here's a good solid show, that's what you wanted me to see, that's what we got. We had a nice pay-per-view.
All right, well, knowing your takes is like either it's just like a solid show, like you said, or it's just really bad. So I was just curious to see where you stood on it.
It's definitely not a bad show. We've got a lot of stinkers in there, but it definitely was not a bad show. There's a lot of legendary and historical and important moments in the show. What's the rewatchability? Like I said, that's like you said, it's your childhood. This is like I said, it's not bad. It's not bad. So there you go. But nothing wacky, nothing crazy.
All right, so BDC, this is your choice. Does this show matter?
Yes. Yes, it does.
And Strap, I know it matters for you after you said it.
Yeah, the show matters.
Yes, it does.
And it matters for me as well. Like I said, this is my childhood right here. I definitely enjoy it. And I'm just curious to see what Stratfax boy Dave Meltzer has to say on SummerSlam 1994. All right, and over the match, $1 Million Corporation versus the Head Shrinkers. BDC, what do you think he gave him?
For that match?
Yes.
Probably like a 1.5. Probably 1.5. Maybe 2.
Sure, 1.75 stars.
Both of y'all are wrong. He gave them a dud. All right.
It's not a dud. It doesn't deserve dud.
All right, our next match, Alundra Blaze and Bull Nakano. BDC, what do you think he got?
I'm going to say he gave him 2.
Strap?
3.75.
Strap's close. 3.25. All right, Razor Ramon and Diesel. Strap? What do you think?
2.5.
BDC?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably somewhere between 2.5 and 3.
2.75. Tatanka and Luger. BDC, who you got?
Oh.
Did he give a negative score?
Nah, no negative.
All right, that's a solid 1.
Strap?
Done.
Gave him a 2.
Oh.
Wow. He was generous.
Since BDC was close, Jeff Jarrett and Mabel.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was a 1.
Strap?
That's a 1 as well.
Well, y'all both close. 0.75. All right, guys. Bret and Owen.
Oh, come on. That's got to be no lower than a 4, but that's definitely close to a 5.
Strap?
4.25.
5 stars.
Ooh.
There you go. All right. Undertaker. Strap?
1-75.
BDC?
Yeah, if he gave him a 2, that would be amazing.
-1.
Oh, no.
Oh, Lord. Is -1 worse than a dud? That's the question.
I think
Now, putting the opening match as a dud really throws off the whole scale, because I'm like, it's not. I don't think it was a dud at all. So it's a dud.
so. Basically, it comes to the question: was the Taker match worse than that opening match?
The head shrinkers.
Oh, Lord.
Maybe a negative is like, I can't even, man. Like one maybe has some storyline relevance, like has some semblance of importance, versus the other score a negative being like, oh, there are botches and they miss spots or show too much light or something. That could be that kind of scale.
Yeah, and yeah, so the -1 could, because that match was plotting a lot of the time. It was just plodding along. It didn't. There was really no life to the match because it's technically two dead guys wrestling. So there's no real life to the match, and the crowd couldn't really get behind it because they didn't know which way to go with it because two dead guys in the ring fighting. So yeah, it's like, what do you do? What do you do?
Seriously.
What do you do?
Oh, my Lord.
I mean, like let's look at Hogan and The Rock, very very famously, right?
Right.
You could say, oh man, like the work rate of that match was awful, but the atmosphere, the charisma, the whatever, that's a 5, but the actual work in the match, 1.5, but you still look at it as, hey, that was a great fun match. I rewatch it all the time. 5 stars no matter what, on my scale. So that's how you could frame it.
Right.
Yeah, and it's crazy to imagine that Undertaker and Kane had a match. They had their first encounter, and somehow, in some way, despite the fact that it was essentially this same match over again, that match was so much better than this one.
Glenn Jacobs better wrestler than Brian Lee. That's all.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
You got to find the right character for Glenn Jacobs. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, he went through a few of them. Fake Diesel.
Isaac
Yankem.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. God, I forgot
about
that.
Oh, never mind. That's the wrong clause.
I was about to say, I forgot about Santa Claus.
That sounded good.
That's why I forgot about him.
Yeah. All right. Well, that concludes SummerSlam 1994, but our next show is going to close out the month of August, and it's Platino's choice. Hopefully he's here for this show. We're taking it 2 years later, SummerSlam 1996. I'm going to go over the card right quick. Here we go. In our opening match, we have Owen Hart with Clarence Mason taking on Savio Vega. Not appealing to y'all? All right. Well, after this, we have a 4-way elimination match for the WWF Tag Team Championship. We have the Smoking Guns, the Billy and Bart, taking on the New Rockers, Marty Jannetty and Leif Cassidy, taking on the Godwins, Henry O and Phineas, and they also taking on the Body Donnas of Skip and Zip. All right. Our next match, we have the IDM Pod's favorite Psycho Sid taking on the British Bulldog.
Y'all, we're only missing Sting and Vader. Oh wait, Vader's in the company.
They fucked him.
It Sting's not.
All right. After this, we have Goldust taking on Mark Marrow.
Johnny B. Bad versus The Natural.
We have Jerry Lawler taking on Jake the Snake Roberts.
Jake the Snake away from the WWF and Pro Wrestling Spotlight for many years, comes
And back as a Christian.
Comes back and
Back as a Christian.
works everyone, making everyone think he's religious.
Jesus.
All right. Our next match, we have a Boiler Room Brawl match with The Undertaker taking on Mankind.
Okay. Now we got something to sink teeth into. Okay.
And then your main event for your WWF Championship, we have Shawn Michaels taking on Vader.
A match that would change the career trajectory of one man they call Vader.
You guys are speechless for this card right here. What's up?
In the words of Platino, yeah, baby, I don't know why I chose this particular episode, but maybe, just maybe, I will figure it out when we watch it, and maybe we'll see what's going on with it, baby.
Oh, Lord. All right, well, that's going to wrap up SummerSlam 1994.
Yep.
The Cage is blue, the $1 Million Corporation, Walter Payton, they were holding it down. Chicago was hot. The Undertaker fought The Undertaker. Shout out to BDC. Shout out to Strat Facts for dropping all the knowledge. If you like what we heard, hit that subscribe button. Drop us a rating. And share it with all your friends. It don't matter who they are. Just share it. Hell, even share it with your enemies. Well, until next time, I'm Notorious when I am Dom. I'm here with StratFacts. I'm here at BDC. And hopefully next week, Poppy Platino will be joining us for SummerSlam 1996. And we will see y'all next time. Boom.